Welcome to an entry in our exclusive 3 Steps to Gladiator series. We built these guides from the ground up to help players go from 0 to Gladiator, even on a spec that they've never played before. Step 1 covers building your character and is essentially everything you need to get started once you hit level 120 on your class of choice. Step 2 builds upon that by preparing you for 2 of the most important skills to have in Arena. Finally, Step 3 walks you through how to get the best results when entering the arena. Now, we're excited to announce that throughout December, we'll be bringing you daily releases on the second step in this series for all of the specs that you see on screen right now. So, if you're looking to kickstart your climb to Gladiator on any of these popular specs, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified the moment your guide goes live. And head on over to skillcap.com/wow if you're interested in checking out the rest of the series along with hundreds of other exclusive BFA guides. Alright, let's get into today's Step 2 release. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to our 3-part series called 3 Steps to Gladiator. In these series we'll cover Step 1, building your character, Step 2, preparing for PvP, and Step 3, entering the arena. In the second part of this 3-step series, we'll talk about preparing yourself for arena. In the previous video, we talked about talents, Azerite Traits and gear, and in this video, we'll talk about min-maxing your damage and holy power usage and getting the most out of your crowd control. The first step to maximizing your damage is to manage your holy power. You should never cap your holy power, which means you never want to use an ability that generates holy power when you already have 5 holy power ready. Instead, use Templar's Verdict before using an ability that generates holy power. To generate holy power, you will look to use Judgment off cooldown. If you're looking to cleave multiple targets down, aim to use Judgment on a different target every single time to get the most out of your Lawbringer PvP talent. Blade of Justice is second on your priority list, followed up by Crusader Strike. This holy power will then be used for Templar's Verdict to burst the target down. Try to only use Inquisition with 3 holy power to maximize your damage. Additionally, you should time your Inquisition for when it's about to run out for maximum holy power efficiency. Execution Sentence should be used during your burst windows when the target is stunned or when you have wings active. If Execution Sentence is on cooldown, use your holy power on Templar's Verdict instead. Try to only spend holy power when you're either at 5 holy power, or if the only holy power generators you have will take you over 5 holy power. For example, if you only have Blade of Justice ready to generate holy power, and you have 4 holy power already, do not use it and instead spend your holy power on Templar's Verdict before using Blade of Justice. You should only use Wake of Ashes when you have 0 holy power. Both Judgment and Wake of Ashes also can't be dodged even through cooldowns like Evasion and Blur, which can come in handy in some situations when trying to generate holy power. Blade of Justice will still generate holy power even if it's dodged or parried, but not when the target is immune to any physical damage, for example when they have Blessing of Protection active. To maximize your burst damage, you should have 5 holy power ready before you start your burst. Once you have 5 holy power, pop your wings and start with Execution Sentence, followed up by a Judgment, into a Templar's Verdict, which should then bring you to 0 holy power. Once you have no holy power left, you can use Wake of Ashes and another Templar's Verdict to finish your burst and resume your normal rotation. Remember that your first Templar's Verdict after using Avenging Wrath or Hammer of Reckoning will always be a critical strike, so it's good to have Judgment up for it to maximize your damage. Crusader Strike and Blade of Justice are your only physical damage abilities. Everything else is magic damage on the Holy Skull and deals damage through cooldowns like Blessing of Protection. However, you can still deal damage through Cloak of Shadows to rogues with all of your attacks. Moving on to the second part of this video, we'll talk about how you can get the most out of your crowd control. Let's start off with Hammer of Justice. Playing with the Fist of Justice talent will reduce the cooldown of your Hammer of Justice by 2 seconds for each holy power spent. For that reason, you should maximize your damage and follow your rotation to give you frequent access to one of the longest stuns in the game, which can be used to set up your CC chains. Hammer of Justice is usually used to stun the enemy healer, so your partners are able to follow up with more crowd control. However, if your comp has a ton of CC but lacks stuns, Hammer of Justice could be used to stun the kill target instead. For example when playing with a caster or hunter on your team. Hammer of Justice is a magical debuff, which means all the healers can dispel it from the kill target, and Shadow Priests and Demon Hunters are able to dispel your Hammer of Justice with Master Spell and Reverse Magic. Keep this in mind whenever you use your stun to stun the kill target, since you always want to have the enemy healer in CC if you do decide to stun the kill target. Hammer of Justice has a short 10-yard range and your mobility is already quite limited, so avoid spending time chasing healers to stun them unless you have a ton of pressure or your teammates want to actively set up a CC chain out of your stun. This basically means that you don't want to waste your mobility to land a Hammer of Justice on the enemy healer if they're kiting you. If you do commit your mobility to land your stun, make sure your team is able to follow up with any crowd control or the kill target is about to die, since you want to get value out of your stun if you commit mobility for it. Blinding Light or Repentance can be played when playing with a comp that already has frequent access to stuns, but lacks other forms of crowd control to set up kill windows. For example, when playing with melee cleave with a Feral, Rogue or Warrior. Repentance is a better pick when playing with a Warrior or Feral, since Blinding Light shares DR with Cyclone and Intimidating Shout, and both Feral and Warrior have frequent access to stuns. You can also choose to play with Repentance if you're facing a very tanky comp when playing with a caster in your team, for example with a Warlock or Boomkin. Blinding Light is a better pick when playing with a Rogue, since Repentance shares DR with Sap, and Rogue already has frequent access to stuns. That's gonna be it for step 2 preparing for PvP. Don't forget to leave a plus kill if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next part of this series.